Okay, it's recording.
Okay, so it doesn't matter what year it was approved for, whether it be 19, 20, 21, 22, or 23, as long as that facility is approved, then it is eligible for design funding, for example, for the current year, which is 19.
So this is a real stupid question on my behalf. You don't want us to create a project and associate any of those ones that were picked. You want them to create a project and have a find button that's available so they can pick the ones that they're going to put in the project?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, we could even make that a little narrower, meaning they could only pick from the list of facilities that I approve.
Yeah. So
see, not everything on the demo list will be approved.
Right. So we thought we were doing something by cutting out them having to create a project. So once you go through agency demo list and you approve it, I guess from that standpoint, how do they know it got approved? Do you want us to send out a message saying your agency demo list was approved? Please create your projects accordingly. I mean, to me, there needs to be something that tells them they can now go create their projects.
Okay, so there's probably a couple ways we could do that. One is probably outside of Terrariga, which is what I'm doing right now is actually sending them a list of all the projects that would be approved for funding, starting from 19 to 23. So they have that list. Now, I should also tell you that although I said it's limited to the projects that I approved, and then I also said not everything on the demo list will be approved. I could tell you though that based on the total request and based on the total funding that we have, everything there's only a handful that are on the demo list that weren't approved for funding. So there's a total of over 300 assets, right? And all but probably 20, couple dozens that weren't approved because they have to be funded with something else, right? So based on what I approved, right, the remaining 280 or so, they can then create projects from that approved list. And they would only be creating, I think we could limit it for 2019 right now. We're going to ask them to create, each center will be creating 2 projects from the list of 280 or so assets, 2 projects from each center. One project will say demo design, and the other project is demo execution, demolition. So we're creating a project out of 2 projects out of the facilities that the assets that we approve, that I approve.
And you want them to create them. You don't want us to create them.
The projects?
Yeah.
Combination of both. My thinking is the title of the project is the 2 projects are already pre-populated.
Yeah, can you scroll up, Dave, please?
Sure.
So what we've done on the title here, you'll see that we put the fiscal year, which I guess if it's a combination of multiple, well, I guess you said if it has design, they could.
The year really is the year really is not the execution year, because the execution year may be 24, 23, or whatever. But for design, that title, that year in the title is the list of design efforts
Can we
that will be funded in this case 2020.
Right. So, Dave, can you open up just one of the design detail down below so we can have this? Yeah. So here, when they enter their information, they put the center FY requested. So I guess what we're trying to do is, eliminate a couple of steps for them so they don't have to create the project. We could also we could create the project for them and put a remove button so they can remove the ones that they don't want, right? So it's not generated yet. But scroll down just a little bit, Dave. There's another year, the PBBES year. So there's 2 years that we're dealing with here. Any of these years determine the design year, or are these always the execution year?
The PIPS year and actually the center PIPS year requested. There's actually 3 years here. So the section where they input the data, there's a center PIPS year requested as well.
Right? Scroll up just right there. Yep. There.
Right there. So at least in this go around, at least that year, this is actually the year they want to execute.
Okay.
That PIPS year is when they want to execute, and the year before is when I say no, we don't have money this year. It would be some other year. So those 2 years may be the same. The 1 year is what they requested it for, and the other year is when I say when it will be funded. So to answer your question is, we will use the center PIPS year requested, the one that I entered.
But that's for execution, not for design. So
that okay. That is for execution. Correct.
Okay.
So for design, it doesn't matter what the center PIPS year is. They could get funding for design. It doesn't matter if the execution is several years later. Complicated?
You know what, Ed? Some of that was really broken up for me, so I apologize. Dave, did you get what he was saying?
I think I understand what he's saying, but what I don't, the sort of design gap I have is just understanding how we're going to sort of automate the projects being created and allow them to control sort of the details, having them remove the details. I don't understand that part quite yet.
Okay. Yeah, for that part, you and I can have an offline discussion.
Okay.
I guess.
I think for now, to make it a little bit simpler, if we could just limit the creation of a project to just 1 year, in this case FY19, right? So I have an approved list of facilities that could be either 19, execution 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. Okay, so any assets approved, doesn't matter what fiscal year, all of those are eligible for design funds.
What if they don't have any design? I mean, because we did talk earlier about some may go directly to construction, to execution.
Oh, okay. So if they don't need design, then they skip. They go construction request.
Okay. All right.
And then it's even gonna be simpler. They will just then be limited.
Yep, to those
to the assets that I said will be only done in 19.
Yep. Okay. Yep. That part I get.
If they're looking for design, then they click the design tab, and all the assets that were approved are available for them to ask design for. They're just gonna pick and choose, okay? Pick and choose those assets, and it's, you know, if they chose, say, you know, 10 assets spanning several years, 10 assets, there's a summation, a total of the design cost, right? And that would be the cost of the project.
Yeah, so we're already doing that part. I think
okay.
There's go ahead and close this window. Sorry, Dave.
No.
So for here, rather than us trying to segregate these projects, actually one more time, I'm sorry. Close this one more time. So on the agency demo list, what we were doing, what we thought we heard, we did build it based on what we think the first time, and then we clean it up, right? So on this list, there was, in this particular case, there were 3, right? One of them was design, one was construction, one was design and construction, which is a sample that we did, right? So what we did, and they're based off of the fiscal year. So if he would have had a fiscal year of 2021, and he processed it, if we go to the design tab, what would have happened, which we're going to fix now based on this conversation, what would have happened is we would have created 2 projects, not 1 project. But so we're going to have to remove the creation of multiple projects, which is fine by us. That's actually how it was built first, and then I had him change it. So once this gets approved, it has design, and you process it, go to the design tab, it's going to create 1 project, which we don't want them to have to create the project. And then from here, once they open it up, we're going to go ahead and leave that section of the demo details blank. We'll put a find button in there and only allow them to find the systems or facilities that belong to them that were approved.
Yes.
And then once they do that, once they associate all those, scroll up, we're going to go ahead and take the cost of the design and put it into that design field, which we're already doing anyway.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
That first cost, the HQ approved cost, that it's not needed right now because that's the demolition cost. So that's, you know, we could leave that inactive or something. Yeah. So.
Okay.
So this is the cost for the demolition design, correct?
No.
The design cost is the total of the design of all those facilities you listed.
Right.
But the cost above it, because that is the execution cost, you know, that doesn't figure in. We could make that inactive right now.
So make it make it read only. or we probably should hide it, actually.
Yeah, hide it. Yep.
Understood.
You know what? Or grayed out.
Okay, we'll make it read only.
Yeah. Okay. At least I know, what is the total cost. Okay. All right. Actually, the design cost. Well, okay. So I think the design cost is it's got a default, right? The total, whatever the total is, it's defaulted from there. But I think I keep it editable, just in case that for some reason that design total is not correct or something.
Yeah, we are. We're leaving the design editable. We're just taking the cost from what they and putting it into that design cost. So
okay.
Yeah, it's only, and let's talk about that just a little bit more. Open up one of those again. I'm sorry, Dave. So what we're doing is we're taking this cost that scroll down that you approved from the integration piece and putting that up there. We're not taking the cost that they asked for up at the top. So you see that section, Dave, you and I haven't even talked about that. So in the additional scoring factors, we're not taking their design cost. We're taking HQ approved design cost. That would be correct, right, Ed?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So this is the running total, Ed. I think you caught this yesterday, but so each of these approved design costs gets summed here, and then that's the 3,500 that you see up here.
Yep.
So
did that copy? Did that
ahead,
copy the 3,500, or you entered 3,500?
No, it copied it.
It copied it automatically?
It did. It's automated, right?
Okay, good.
As a branch user would add new details to their demo project, it would like Yvette said, we'll have this auto recalculate each time new one's added.
So and then we could make this section simpler. Anything below design cost is probably okay. So just the engineering estimate, cost adjustment, contingencies, size, and the columns, to the right. Those are automatically calculated, I think. Those could be hidden. We don't need those for design.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, all right, and okay. See, there's a lot of different costs here. I think the amount over HQ approved cost, that's also not needed. That could be hidden. And then, all right, so the rest, acquisition strategy, design contract award, design completion plan date are okay. Okay. And the demo contract and demo completion dates can be hidden because this is only design.
Okay.
1509 scope with description, that should remain there. We keep that.
And then once it goes to submit design funds, obviously that's going to open up the HQ. Yeah, don't click it yet. That's going to open the sections down at the bottom for you to enter your.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this just.
I think from there forward, it's all the same.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. Okay. All right. This shouldn't take us too long to get resolved, Ed. Now.
Oh, good.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear.
Yeah, no, it's not that big of a deal, especially with all the work that Dave has already put into it. He should be able to knock this out pretty quick. Then
Okay.
next thing, let's talk about construction project.
Okay. All right.
If there's no design cost, then we automatically create a construction project. Would that be?
Okay. So how would they know if there's no design cost?
So
how would?
So for here, what
can you just make those two tabs active? What is it that they need to do based on what you said to get to the construction tab? Do they have to do something?
No. So they would go back to the agency demo list project. So go ahead and close this down one more time, Dave. So once you approve your, so this is the agency demo list. You go through the formulation through the approval, right? You hit formulation complete. Once you hit formulation complete, those two design and construction tabs, we're leaving them wide open. We're not showing or not showing. So if you haven't processed it yet, there's not going to be any detail on those tabs. But once you process it and you look at the construction tab, you're going to see that we create a project. They can come here, click on the project without even having to go to the demo-based project list and add one, because we've already click on it, open it up, and from here they start seeing the information. Now, we're having trouble with this design tab showing up. It's all read-only, so we're trying to hide it. But they would go right to the construction tab because there's no way for them to do anything there, right? And then on the construction tab, this is where we're carrying over, number one, the approved construction cost for those that only had construction. And then, but we're going to change that so they have a find, right? They should only.
Can you? I think I like the, instead of find, I think I like the remove button better. So if I have a set of assets at this center that was approved for 19, right? Can you make it all of them automatically show up here?
Yeah. Just okay. So let's talk about that. You said for 19. So for construction or execution, are we saying that we only want to create a project for those that are execution year? So it was different with design, right? Because they could pick the ones they want for that fiscal year.
Yep.
But for execution, this is actually the year. So if there's some that are 2020, some that are 2020, and you had some other years there. So sorry, let me just.
Yeah, 20 or later.
Yeah, 20 or later. Those should have their own individual projects because that's the execution year of the project. Or do you want it to be combined, one construction? That's the confusing part for me.
No, it should be different. Although I think I could make it simpler, right? Just for now, just for this go around. I may change it, next year.
Right.
We're not even gonna make any and create any projects later than 19.
Okay.
I just have a list for 20 and later. Because I don't really know how much money am I gonna get in 20.
Okay.
So in 19, I have an idea on how much I'm gonna get. So let's not even worry about the later years. So for now, the project that would be created is only 19.
Okay, but
does that make sense?
But in the list of all of the ones that were of the different years, you want us to go ahead and show all of them and they remove?
No. When they create the 19 list, just pre-populate this section that were approved for FY19 execution.
Okay, I got you.
Kennedy may have, my last count was, I think, a dozen. Probably more than that. Stanley's have 4 for 19. So it will only show those 4, right? But with the option of removing, right? For some reason that they cannot execute in 19.
Yeah. Okay, I got it.
Just the 19.
Yep.
I don't have a need to create projects for 20. I don't think I created one last year. I just have a list, which I already have.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what's the other?
Go ahead, Dave.
Go ahead, Yvette. I'll ask if when you're done.
So I think for the construction, once you hit, so what I want to do is try to make this logical so we don't have to rebuild it later. When you hit, formulation complete, I think what we have to do somewhere inside your integration piece is add another field that says, what fiscal year do you want to create a project for, right? So when we do that, we only want to capture the ones that are for fiscal year 19. And then, yeah, so I think we're going to have to add another field there just to accommodate that piece. And then there's a little bit more logic there that I have to kind of think through, but that one's going to be just a little bit harder than the design stuff. So I think we can do it. So I just have to write it down and send it back to you with my thoughts against that, if that's okay.
Okay, all right. Yeah. That's fine.
Dave, did you? I'm sorry.
I think that picture is helpful. I think that would be helpful.
Yeah, I do. Because then we're not creating more projects than we should. And you get to pick what year you want to create the projects for. So, I think having that feature in there is going to be very important.
If nothing else, I could work up a what if scenario. What if this is FY19? I mean, this is FY20, and what if I have this much money? What can I fund? What can I fund in 20? At least I could see that the benefit of that. So.
I gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
It's like almost like an analysis tool at that point.
Yep. At least, yes, it's not uncommon for people here to say, what if we added this much money to your demo account? How what else can you fund? And yeah, okay, all right, that's good.
Okay, Dave, did you?
I'm clear now, Yvette. I'll just talk to you offline about the process stuff that you understand so much better than I do. I'm clear on everything else right now.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so Ed, what I'd like to do is get moving on this so we can have it done. I'm going to go ahead and move over.
Okay. Can I just make another comment here on the FY construction demo details?
Yep.
All right. We probably don't need most of the columns here.
Oh.
We can talk about that later if you want. If you could just leave that there for now.
Actually, that's actually pretty funny. Dave and I were talking about that before you came on, and what we talked about was that the only things you're going to need to see here. Can you open up one of those, Dave?
Sure.
Are likely. So here I go again, Ed, thinking way ahead of you.
There you go. I mean,
so we were talking about potentially scroll down. showing all of the fields that you have down there in the integration for sure, right?
Yep.
And then obviously their center requested year, and then the other year as well. Is there probably their cost, but none of the other stuff.
None of the other stuff, because we're past that already.
Right.
We've done the scoring, and we know what to fund, and we've gone past that. Anything associated with scoring, maybe possibly the final score.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was telling him. I highlighted all those: the CRV, the total gross, demo, HQ. There's so many things in here that I told him it was pretty messy at this point. That it's not necessary. Yep. Okay, yeah, we'll clean it up. He actually, you can show me your note that you created from before. But yeah, we definitely, I told him that this is way too much at this point in time because, like you said, you're past that.
Okay. All right.
I think predicting the future, it looks like, all right, that's pretty clear. Thank you.
All right. I may need to call you later, Yvette. Towards the afternoon, I need to finish the next task order.
Yep.
Because I will eventually be gone a couple weeks, and at least I need to get that in the burner. So at least when we go back, if we need to talk about it,
Yeah.
But yeah, I need to. I think I have everything. The breakdown and all. I think I have everything to get started.
I provided.
Okay.
I provided Brent with all those numbers. I think with some of the follow-up stuff, we may need to put a little padding in some of those. I did it as a one-time deal, which we never do it one time. So there may need to be a few more hours in some of those.
No, what's going to happen? This is just what you gave me is just a rough estimate.
Yep.
Right. So when I send the scope of work to Langley, I'm going to add. They will need me to do a government estimate, and then they will then ask a proposal from you guys, and then that's the time that you really want to finesse your estimate.
Okay.
So right now this is just an estimate.
Okay.
The discrete approval button that is in production already, right?
It is, yes.
Okay, because we are gonna use that pretty soon. Probably this week.
Okay. Just to be clear, it is. Let me go back to my notes here. Hold on. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. It is only on the risk-based, program direct, and recap.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So I think I'm still thinking of what we talk about. When we do the very first one, I'm going to gather up everybody who's involved with that and just do it real time, the approval. So if there are any errors and all, you see them so we could fix them right away.
Okay.
Is that feature include email notifications and all that?
It does, yes.
It does. Okay. All right. So that's the time we would then check the message of that email. All right.
Yep.
There was another one. We still have issues on buttons available to people who are not supposed to have it.
So I guess that's, I know we talked about it. We went through the business objects. We went through what should be there, what shouldn't be there. But I think it's a matter of what security group they're in, because the way the security group, it's so refined down to the security group that I have to know who is seeing it. And there are some people that are associated to multiple security groups, and that could be causing you a problem too.
Okay. So, for example, yesterday there's this new individual who's just learning how to use it, and she's got all the buttons available. So I'm kind of worried that she might be pushing buttons that she's not supposed to have.
Who is it?
So, her name is Ebony Williams.
Okay, let me look at her.
I just added her yesterday, but you know, I don't know how to explain, but she should only have buttons available for a center user.
Okay, let me take a look at her setup in the system, and that'll give me a the first indication of why she might have more buttons. Secondly, if she's associated to more than one security group, that could be causing the issue. But I know that we did look at the state families for the objects, so the objects should be fine. But I'll take a look at the other underlying components that might give her more information than she should be.
Right.
And then, one last thing.
No, go ahead.
So I want to, before we go, I want to talk about Debbie's email too.
Okay.
So I'll look at Ebony's profile. I have to get onto the VPN so I can look at that. I can't do it without doing that. I disconnect if I do that. So I'll do that. I'll send you an update via email what I see, and then I'll check to see if there's anybody else that has a setup just like hers that might also have the same problems.
Okay.
Okay, just writing a note. Anything else?
Nothing that I can remember right now. I thought there was one more, but I couldn't remember.
Okay. If you do, just send me a quick email.
I will.
CC Dave. But as far as Debbie, she said there's a bunch of stuff waiting in your queue to be approved. And what's happening is we're going to get discontinued on the current RSA token, the VPN that I have. And I've done everything I had to do on my part, but the tokens or the certificates that I downloaded have to be authorized by someone. I believe the last authorization is you.
Okay. I don't remember doing any of these that I have done this before. So let me go study and look this up and see what I need to do. Okay. I've received a couple of emails. So. All right.
I just got a few more. Debbie has submitted an ad request. Yeah. So it looks like I'm just getting the emails regarding the tokens. Oh, wait. Okay. Hold on. Now it says the request was canceled. You will whoa. Hold on. She must have canceled it and then added a new one. Yeah, so I got 3 emails just now that she submitted one got canceled, and then another one got submitted.
You haven't logged into the VPN yet today, have you?
No, not today.
So you don't know yet whether you still have access or not?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let me take a look at this and see and just figure out what I need to do here. Okay. I don't remember doing any of these before, so.
Right. Okay. No, it's because of the new RSA process that they have. Debbie was able to she was able to handle them all before, but now they're going agency by agency, and so now it has to go to you.
Okay. Good. All right.
All right. Thanks a lot, Ed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ed.
Right.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye, guys.